Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of the SquadCast. Today we will be discussing chapter 101. We're already in the 100s, so this is exciting.
Well
yes. Hello. So it is I, your host, Matea or Maddie, whichever you'll prefer. And I'm here with Grace, Serena,
Hello.
and Tay.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they all need introductions, but, yeah, because, you guys have all been on the podcast before. All right, so chapter 101, so we got some interesting info in this chapter, mainly about, like, Yuri's life at the, both Yuri and Shiro's lives at the asylum, and basically we learned how Shiro became an exorcist and how Yuri became an exorcist. So, Yuri they basically were like, hey, so, you have nowhere to go, so we're just gonna put you in the exorcism school. And, Shiro literally was like, to Mephisto, make me an X-Wire, and he's like, okay. Because
Please just kind of let stuff happen.
Because, well, we'll get into why. So, what did you guys think? And also we found out, basically, that the whole reason the asylum exists is, Section 15, the asylum, I think they're both, they're basically the same thing, is for Lucifer. So, just for Lucifer. So, what did everyone think of the chapter?
I thought it was pretty cool, because when Shiro, wanted to become an X-Wire, and Mephisto's like, oh, okay, but you're gonna have to do a favor for me or something. I forgot the exact wording. I thought that was cool, because I was, in my head, oh, everything's coming together. You can start filling in, details in your head, which is really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, just interesting to see how, things were basically 40 years ago with the cram school, so...
Oh, yeah.
Because it was completely different than what it's like now, and... the asylum is kind of just, seems like a boot camp.
Oh, yeah, it's just not like a good place at all.
Yeah, because, the kids were, all sleeping in the same room. They didn't have their own rooms, and they had, a really strict schedule. They're like, okay, so you have to wake up at 6 a.m., and then at 8 a.m. you start regular school, and then at 2 p.m. you start cram school, and then lights out at 11 p.m. and you can't leave.
Remember, you're here forever.
Don't forget, you're here.
Yuri was enjoying it.
Yuri
was enjoying it all.
Yeah. She's like, the other kids were like, are you crazy? And she's like, I loved learning about demons. So, okay. Yes, so, let's start with Yuri. Because we got a little bit more into her life when she was at the asylum, and oh my god, the beginning of the chapter with Ren talking about how he felt really lucky to have Shiro and
Yukio?
Shiro and Yukio around, and then he's like, I can't imagine what my mom is feeling like right now, and it's just like, oh god,
That would be sad.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, we don't even have it that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, seeing more flashbacks of Rin in general, and him personally talking about him having no control on his emotions and strength and all that stuff when he was little and accidentally hurting people.
Yep.
that was nice. It's like, I mean, it was sad, but it was nice to see more flashbacks because it's like you could tell we're definitely delving into more about Rin because you're going to get more of that throughout this arc, which is long overdue because Rin's the main character and you have so much less flashbacks from his perspective versus Yukio.
Yep.
That's very true.
Throughout the manga. So.
Also, seeing baby Yukio made me sad because Yukio now is just jacked up.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Did somebody just tip him off and gave him drugs just so he can go insane a little? He's massive.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of runs into the family kind of thing. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, your grandparents' suicide, says the person who.
Oh yeah, so we got a little more information about Yuri. So her mother died 6 years ago at the time of the flashback, and left a note to have someone take care of her. And apparently her parents committed suicide because apparently their fortune, they lost their family fortune. And, yeah, so, and apparently no one knows where her father is or if he's still alive, so.
That means the horrible filler grandpa could pop up. I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
Be completely different, but still.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. So
I mean, she's changed the characters before. It's like Yuri was completely different in the filler, so.
But I mean, at least we know that one of Rin and Yukio's grandparents is not alive, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh my god, I always think about this today. I'm so glad that, like, this Yuri backstory isn't going like how it was in the anime where it was like, but I love him.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about that.
I mean, we haven't really gotten there yet. I hope it doesn't go that way, but I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either. I was going to talk about this, and I remembered to talk about it. So I have a theory about Shiro, and we're going to get into this now. So basically the reason why Shiro became an X-Wire is because Mephisto chose him to be an X-Wire. Because he chooses a clone from each of the clone groups to become an X-Wire once every 15 years, apparently. Every 15 years for some reason. I don't know why, but he chose Shiro. So what he has to do is, well, he basically, once he becomes an exorcist, he's kind of like just, allowed to live a normal, quote unquote, life, but he has to come back to the asylum to do an experiment once a year. So my theory was, because we did discuss this last podcast about Shiro being the bio daddy. So what if one of the experiments was that having Satan possess hit him and impregnating Yuri that way?
That's fucked
Yeah,
up.
there's a good chance of that, man.
That's my theory.
I have so much anxiety once we get to that point because I have no idea how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking to my theory that it wasn't one of the clones that he took over, but it was Yuri herself, or whatever.
Yeah.
That whole point about the experiments brings into another thing. All right, I know that there's supposed to be whoever that other clone is that in the list that Bond found. It's like, oh, he assumed
Goro.
that's supposed to be the one. Goro, the one that Satan possessed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then it showed that little panel. It's like when Mephisto was talking about, he never specified which clone it was. Mephisto didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But when he brought it up, he's like, it's like he showed someone a test tube and all that stuff. It's like, or in one of those things in water and stuff like that, and the eyes glowing and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I assumed that was a different clone than Shiro. But having confirmation, he goes back for experiments once a year.
Yep.
still could lead back to that being Shiro.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it is, but
that was my theory. Was that it could have been Shiro because he has to go back for the experiments, to do an experiment with the asylum once a year, and that was one of the experiments where they had him Satan possess him. Whether Yuri was involved in participating in the experiment willingly, I don't know for sure. If in my theory, I mean, because we don't know what exactly happened yet, but I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know if she was like involved with Section 13 after like she becomes an exorcist, or I don't know, because it was definitely when the I mean, they said that Satan possessed one of the Azazel clones, and that's how she got pregnant. So I don't know what exactly happened, or if she, like, I don't know. It's we're gonna find out in the next few chapters, obviously, but
there's a comment that really had me, though, was that Miss Bisto said, if you get possessed by a demon one time or whatever, you have to do something for me, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, said something about like
the foreshadowing
one.
Oh, I wonder which demon it was.
Yeah, it was like literally just like foreshadowing that he had to do he basically erased Rin and Yukio. That was like the bet.
Oh yeah, there it is. He's like, if you yield to a demon even once, you have to grant me one favor, anything I ask.
And that and that was probably, oh god, that was probably the raising Rin and Yukio. So
something happens, and then I'm sure the condition is raising Rin and Yukio.
Because they might have been his kids. His actual
But
kids.
Oh man, it was. Oh man, my theory's just coming up now.
Okay, spell it.
Oh no, it was the theory from last podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's just gonna bring in a little more. Just bring it in just a little more.
Something I was thinking about. Because Lucifer, you get him brought up at the end of this. There is the possibility that missing clone that Bond thinks is the one that Satan possessed could be the body that Lucifer has.
That's true.
Because he has the same type of clone.
That's true.
I think. He has a clone.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely...
And the body was created for him specifically.
The host body, yeah. Yep.
So that could explain the missing clone easily right there.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to actually talk about this. So, Rin's reaction when he finds out about Section 13, finally. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Flashback to Yukio right there.
Just like so freaking heartbreaking.
It is. And then there's obviously a panel right there because where you see words, it's like, and then there's no picture there. That when the volume comes out for this, you can tell there's going to be extra panel there. Which I'm curious because Rid's like yelling, but why do all this? So I'm sitting here like, I wonder what that panel is going to look like. Especially when you see his face in the panel afterwards.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just like Rin finally finding out about this now. When Yukio knew about it, when Bond knew about it, you know. When
finally learned.
It's just like,
Yukio was actually right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he didn't believe Yukio at first.
I think that's the hard part for him is believing that Yukio. It's like even with him, it's like finding out it though he's still not having a. How do I put it? Overreaction without actually taking time to get all the answers to understand the situation. Even though he's like upset.
Yeah, exactly.
He's justifiably upset, but he's doing a very good job at keeping a level head, considering.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going crazy about it right now, but when we get further into the arc, I don't think that he's gonna have the best reaction to whatever he finds out happened to his mom.
Oh, clearly not.
Or how he was conceived. So.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely. But it's like, it is really sad, his reaction, but at the same time, it's like, I'm also find myself proud of him for calmly. It's like, even though he's like, oh wow, you really are evil and stuff like that. It's like
development.
He's doing a good job at not instantly going and trying to hit Mephisto or something.
I think at this point, he realizes that doing that is probably not going to solve anything, so...
Yeah. Character development.
Exactly.
Like, I kind of want to just punch you a little bit. Can I just punch you a little bit with this, though?
He's gotten to the point he's just not going to... He just doesn't do that.
He just, like, yells out, "You're the enemy now!" So...
It's like, and then... That's an interesting... It's an object. It's like, is Mephisto the enemy? I don't think he is, but it's like, at the same time, it's like...
Yeah.
He's one of those characters.
It's still really, like, it's still really hard to tell which side Mephisto is on, if he is on a side.
He probably says whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He's on his side.
He's on his own side. I think that's basically, it's just, like, it's really hard to tell, like, morally where he stands, I guess is a better way of putting it.
Mm-hmm. He's somewhere in the middle. That's just where he stands, like, constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Deciding what he thinks is important and what isn't.
Yeah, it's basically just his own...
At the moment.
Which I think, well, that's one of the big themes of Blue Exorcist, is which side is the good one and which side is the bad one. Because I think we could see from the perspective of, like, a bunch of different characters that there's, I guess, good and bad to every side, so.
Yeah.
It's not, Blue Exorcist is definitely not a morally black and white series.
It's pretty gray.
Everything's in a gray area.
Yeah.
Like, everything.
Yeah.
I like the comment with Yuri when she calls Shiro Yukio Toko.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That I'm like, hey, there's Yukio's name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she called him that the last chapter too.
Yeah.
Well, they had it more of like a translated version, if I remember what I read, and then
in chapter 100, you mean?
I didn't get a chance to like download it on the Shonen Jump website. So I went by the summary, because I got the whole summary by then. Before I was able to read it.
In chapter 100, she calls him the Yukio Toko as well. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, I.
Yeah.
It's still a cute detail.
Yeah, and and then there's the Rinka, which was the blue flame that she saw. In the last chapter. Which was Satan's flames, so.
Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. It's foreshadowing, but you know it's gonna shatter your soul.
I didn't mean to, but I did not mean to say
that. I mean, that works.
It's just gonna foreshadow my soul.
Yeah.
But the foreshadowing, it's all like, I named you after your father.
Yep. Oh God. Well, I mean, his his name in the kanji for his name means phosphorus. So.
Wow.
Did you guys not know that?
I did.
No, I did.
You didn't? Wow.
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did.
Did you know that, Serena?
I think I looked it up a while back.
Okay. Just checking. Okay. But that's besides the point. So, yeah. That's some nice foreshadowing there. Or foreshadowing. But
You can tell, you can definitely say that the boys have a daddy issue.
I'm pretty sure that's the whole theme of this manga is daddy issues.
Day one.
I know.
Every character, honestly, somehow.
I can imagine how Yuri named the boys. So like, oh, Rintaro, I'm naming you after your father. Oh, and then Yukio, the nickname that I gave to your father.
You're God, that's gonna be so confusing. But
well, there's that good chance that
I mean they technically have two fathers, so
technically, yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now you can't say that men can't have babies just yet.
But I love the little detail of like Rin. At one point in the chapter, he's just like goes like, "Good luck, Mom." Like he's cheering on his
that
mom.
was cute.
And it
Like,
is so adorable.
Like, I'm like, I believe in you, Mom.
Yep.
It was so
He's
cute.
already attached to her.
It's like I was saying this on Twitter, but it's like he never knew his mom, but it's like it's so Rin to just go like that. And it's
is.
And I think he feels like he definitely has a connection with her, and he feels like some sort of love for her already, even though he's never really interacted with her. But
He really needed this, even though it's gonna be sad. It's like he still because he was avoiding it.
I think this is kind of like his what's the right word? Like his way of just I guess just becoming coping? Is that what you said?
Coping.
Yeah, coping.
Just coping.
Well, coping, yes, because of what's happened with him, because of what happened with Yukio, and also just like facing his no pun intended inner demons.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
He's kind of what, demon? Half demon at that most.
Yeah.
That it's like and then his fear. It's
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot he needed to face in doing this. He's come so far. You can tell already.
Yeah. So I think he will only come out of this stronger. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it's gonna hurt.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
He's allowed. A big part is it's basically what you guys talking about. It's like, but he's allowing himself to finally. Whereas before he was rejecting any possible connection with his mother, he's accepting it and allowing himself to feel that connection that he never had.
At first he was just like, "Oh, I'm sure what happened to her wasn't the best story, and I don't want to hear about it." And now he's like, and then he was like, "Well, now I want to know because all this shit is happening, and I think it's time I knew what happened." So now he's just getting the answers that I guess he was denying that he didn't want to know the answers to everything, but now he's just like finally accepting it. And
What if there was a major plot twist that the boys were actually clones?
Oh God. I don't think so. Obviously, their father is a clone, so I don't know. They're half clones.
Well, no, I was just thinking. I know this is like this is stretching your idea,
Yeah.
but since they are working in a facility that is developing clones, there's a good chance that they could have just combined DNA that was Yuri's, and then the whole fact that she saw the Rintaro and all that kind of fun stuff, and they put that in along with the clone of Shiro, because technically Shiro's um um blood is most likely been possessed by a demon once, so there's that good quality too. And then the boys were born in a lab. I'm kidding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it's. I definitely get that. The only part that wouldn't is like think of that. What doesn't add up? Satan's comment in the first chapter being, "I made you guys up."
I made you guys up.
I honestly, I mean, it sounds interesting, that whole thing, but I really doubt that's how it happened. So
I know. I'm like, this is just stretching it.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a stretch. Yeah, it's good.
It's fun to theorize, regardless.
It's good, but it's definitely stretching it a little too far. So
it was fun while it lasted.
No, you're good. You're good.
My brain just remembers a lot of stuff from chapter 1.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like every time I make a theory, I go back and look at that. I'm like, oh, nope.
Well, I mean, the theory that I made previously that Shiro is technically the father, and they did actually want a family.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking to that.
Well,
nothing wrong with that one. Still, it's like, I mean, even that, if they wanted the family, it's like Satan could still do his whole LOL, I'm going to destroy shiz.
There's gotta be a reason that that Kato is establishing that he had a relationship with Yuri, since they've been kids, so, I mean, that obviously has to lead to something.
It was clear in their first interaction back during Shura's, or not Shura's arc. That was Shura's arc. During the chapter when you get the flashback and everything. Well, actually, it was clear during Shura's arc when she made that offhanded comment.
Oh yeah, like you
now that woman's gone. Blah,
now that
blah,
she's
blah.
gone, yeah.
Like she made that offhanded comment, and then you finally get to see her, and you could tell instantly from a flashback, and then showing them as kids, just reinforcing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we knew, like, since that chapter that, like, he had romantic feelings for her. I mean, whether or not that was reciprocated, we don't know yet.
Yep.
I mean, I get. Oh no! Actually, you know what? Looking back on it, that one flashback that Shura had, with Yuri when she was like, "Oh, let's pretend to be the mom and dad." I think that kind of establishes that Yuri did like him romantically.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So I just debunked my own theory. So yep.
It's like that, along with purposely putting in Rinchi parallels, just makes it very clear where that's supposed to be.
Oh yeah, that too. Actually.
Headed.
Yes, which we did talk about last time. So.
Yeah.
It's interesting because. Yeah, you see those parallels like when they first meet. Yeah, and Rin obviously, like, seeing a resemblance, in Yuri, like, to Shiami. So it's you know, like, he's saying, like, his own mom reminds him of Shiami, so that has to say something.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, it's cool.
It makes me curious. Makes me a little curious on Yuri's backstory, though, because the fact that we got a mention of her backstory, but we didn't get much into it.
Yeah.
I'm
So
wondering-
it makes me rather curious.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me wonder what happened with her mom. It's like all it says is she's sick and can't move.
Oh yeah, Yuri's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know much about, like, aside from the fact that she apparently came from a pretty wealthy family, that eventually, like, they lost their fortune. We don't really know much about them, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But I'm very curious on the whole fact on the Yuri's father, and perhaps that we will be able to see her father throughout the memories that
Maybe.
we're seeing. So
Let's just hope it's not the grandpa from the anime, because
No, we can't bring him back. We just
no,
can't.
he cannot come back. He was terrible.
We really don't need him. God.
We don't.
We don't need him. No, we don't need him
well,
at all.
I mean, like the fact that she is able to sense and see demons and all that kind of stuff makes me curious about her father
Yeah.
being some sort of special being. And that's the reason why he wasn't in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like similar to the fact that an angel fell in love with a human and had a child with a human, but was not able to stay with her, even though he loved his family, he couldn't be there with his family.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I get this feeling in the back of my head that he's gonna be a terrible person.
Well, we can always just go back into the whole the Greek mythology, where the fact that it could be a god kind of story, where it was a god who had many children but never cared for many of them.
Yeah. Which is essentially what the demons.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Ugh.
I just get this gut feeling, probably because the filler from the anime, that he's gonna be a terrible person.
Maybe. I mean,
What
it
if he was
seems
the
like
complete opposite?
Or if that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I'd like that option.
I feel like that's a little far fetched, but
I'd like that option, but my gut feeling's telling me bad things are gonna happen.
no. I feel like if we see Yuri's father, he's gonna turn out to be an asshole. But I hope he's written well. Unlike
I trust Kato.
unlike the anime equivalent.
I mean, so far she hasn't failed us with proving that her version of events that went on in the filler are completely different.
Because it's actually interesting, and there's world building and substance to it, unlike the backstory in the anime. It was literally just a fucking, like, forbidden love kind of story, and it was just it was awful.
It was a weird forbidden love thing. It wasn't even.
It was so weird.
I never watched that part of the series ever again.
Beat that.
I've seen it more times than I'd like to admit. So.
Well, I've seen it like 2 or 3 times, and then I've watched it ever since.
And every time I watch it.
I've watched it once. I watched it once all the way through. Other times I'll flip through it. I'll be like, "Oh God, this is terrible. Just shut it off."
Yeah,
I saw it once, and one time was enough.
It is terrible in the fact, but I did kind of enjoy the a bad moment of saying that it's like a sadist moment right there, where Rin was getting destroyed.
Oh, you liked him being tortured,
crucified,
literally being murdered by his own grandfather.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just like these cruel moments.
Oh. Yeah, that was.
Help it.
Honestly, that was hard to watch. Ugh.
I know it was hard to watch. I enjoyed it.
It was stupid, but it was really hard to watch because it was
hard to watch.
Yeah.
My thing my thing with the filler, the reason I try to go back and watch it sometimes, I'm like, maybe I'll see something in here that give me hints to think that's gonna happen in the manga. Then I'm like, I try, and then I'm like, nope, I'm noping out of this. I can't.
Well, we have yet to get to, well, obviously they retconned whatever happened at the beginning of the filler arc, because they made an anime for the Kyoto arc, and after that it's just like, the whole plot line with Newhouse's wife and the hostage having like a hostage situation where she basically is like puts all the X-Wires, and it just it's so dumb, and like it was dumb.
It was really dumb.
It was.
But honestly, I love the retconning. That was so funny. I remember watching the Kyoto anime, and then they just kind of like...
They're just like,
nope, that didn't happen. And I was
just like, yep, that didn't happen. Let's just forget about it.
Yeah.
My brother always got mad at me because I'm like, that didn't happen. And he's like, shut up. And I'm like, that didn't happen.
I mean, I actually convinced someone to just skip the filler arc and watch the Kyoto arc, because they hadn't seen the anime before. So they actually did that, and then I showed them the filler arc, and they were like, "Wow, this is actually really bad." Yeah. So there's that. Anyway, let's get back to the manga. Because as much as I'd love to bash on the shit show that was the filler arc of the first season, we
feel like we bash it at each episode that we do in this podcast.
We do.
I think the reason that ends up happening is because we're focusing on stuff that the filler tried to do, and we're sitting here like, man.
I mean, also, like, I'm pretty sure most of us, I don't remember if everyone here has seen the anime before they've read the manga, so, or at least I have.
I watched the anime before I read the manga.
I did too. That's what I'm saying.
Well, my brother was the reason why I started the series at the beginning, and I'm like, why haven't you read the manga? And he's like, I don't want to read the manga right this moment. I'm like, how dare you?
I watched like 7 episodes of the anime and then started reading the manga, so I can't really even count because I got further than where the filler went, and then I finished it after I was already through the Kyoto arc.
Yeah.
And so my perspective of the filler was already bad.
Yeah, I like read and watched at the same time. So like by the time I got to the filler, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, wow. Like, I feel bad for people who were reading the manga and watching the anime at the same time as it was airing, because...
oh, yeah. That would have been really heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually watch the anime until, like, 2013, so, which was 2 years after it came out. So, I didn't have that reaction, so...
It kind of reminds me over Black Cat. I read the manga for Black Cat before I actually watched the anime, and I'm like, okay, I like this series, but I'm gonna watch the anime now. And I was just like so angry after I finished the series because I'm like, this is wrong. This is all wrong.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so moving on. What was it that I wanted to talk about? Okay. So, so we get we get 2 different points in time in this chapter. So, the first one is basically where the last chapter left off. And then Rin goes to a different point in time, which was 4 years after that, which was I think when Oh no, it was after the Shiro and Mephisto confrontation. It was the Section 13 stuff. So
Yeah, it's right after that.
4 years later, and then Yuri passes by, and he's like, "Holy crap, that's my mom!"
Yeah. It's like, my mom's hot. No, that hasn't happened. I don't think.
No. We're like a big like, "Hey, mom."
Yeah.
Every time you see
that'd be
"Hi, Mom."
That'd be very creepy though. So.
Hey,
Thank
Mom,
God
what's up,
Kyle
Mom?
hasn't tried to do something like that.
Yeah, it's just like, wow. Like, let's, yeah. Because we already have enough Akumura assist in the Tumblr tag. Oh! I went there. Sure.
Oh.
It's been years since I've seen any, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
Good for you.
What if at the end of the whole thing where he has his little adventure in the past that he and Yuri have interaction?
Okay, no, we're not going there. We're not going there. We
already.
already.
I'm not talking about that. Why are you in the gutter, guys? Why?
I got in the gutter. Maddie started doing that.
Hey,
Oh no!
Hey!
No! I was referring to the fact that they had some kind of interaction.
Okay. Thank God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Please
Hey!
Okay. Hold on.
Why are you in the gutter?
Hold on. Serena, elaborate on what you mean. So that way our minds do not go in the gutter.
Minus the fact that your mind's already went into the gutter?
No, just continue what you were saying.
Okay, the type of interaction where the fact that he does call out to his mother and he says something to his mother, but the fact is that Mephisto pulls him back before then.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
Okay. Oh, that's actually really heartbreaking.
Like it's like their final moments with each other.
I would like Rin to at least interact with his mom at some point. I think that would be.
He can't affect time, so why not?
I think that would be really because apparently Kato already established that there won't be any time paradoxes caused if he interacts with anyone, but it does cause confusion. So.
Well, it won't be most likely a time paradox. More of like it what was supposed to kind of happen.
Well,
anyway.
I mean there isn't going to be a time paradox, and if there was, time paradoxes in fiction are not handled well at all. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that it's gonna it's not gonna change or anything, make it change or anything. Mm-hmm. I feel like something that he's gonna do is supposed to happen while he's in the past. So I mean, it's like an inner loop of what he's done, interloop of time.
Oh, okay. So what you're basically saying is something that is triggered in the past that wasn't initially triggered by him will be triggered by him in the past. Is that what you're saying?
You could say that, or there was a reason. Because Mephisto threw him in the past for a reason. So there is something that. So he has to end up doing something without actually triggering his own future.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's not the whole Back to the Future where it's like the time paradox. It's more or less there was something that he was filling in to make that future happen.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because if we get anything remotely close to Back to the Future, or God help me, Futurama. Not that Futurama. Okay,
we ain't going.
Okay, Futurama. We're not going there.
I mean,
we're free. It won't happen.
I mean, okay. I mean, I love Futurama, and obviously that thing that happened in the show was meant to be comedic and not taken seriously. But this manga does have comedy elements, but it does get serious. So if it's taken as a serious thing, that's like, no.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think we're safe.
Yeah, we're safe.
I don't think.
I think.
I'm just saying that he's gonna be somebody who would fill in something that was required.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean,
being there at the right place at the right time, stopping something bad from happening or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or causing it.
Mm-hmm.
Which would
Exactly.
probably cause the fact that, Yuri is that type of character that's very boastful and happy and all that kind of fun stuff. So I think when she has some sort of interaction with Rin, she's gonna understand automatically, but she's not gonna question it.
You mean she's gonna understand that? Oh, this is my son, but.
But she's not gonna question it.
Yeah.
She's that type of character.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how with Shimi, where she finds out the fact that Rin's Satan's son or whatever, but she really doesn't question it.
Yeah.
More or less, she just feels pain. She feels painful because she's upset that she can't interact with him correctly because of her what you would call it.
She felt like she wasn't trustworthy enough to,
carry out his secret.
Yeah.
So it was more or less she was trying to protect him by hurting herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point too, though. I never thought about. No one ever kind of went like, "Hey," everyone's like, "Hey, I'm Satan's son." No one ever went like, "How?"
Yeah, it's just
I
like
never thought about that
like,
either.
oh,
and now we're getting that.
Actually, not to direct it back to the anime again.
Go ahead, it's fine.
But in the birthday episode, Bon actually asks, "How does the son of Satan get born?" And then I think Konokarma was just like, I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just too scared to even question it.
Yeah.
In a filler. Yeah, Bod being like, huh.
And then they answered it. It was just friggin'
Satan. And with their backstory.
Just like Satan possessed her, not a male person with a penis. And that's how she got pregnant. Just immaculate conception, I guess.
Yeah.
It became Jesus.
Yep.
When a mommy and a daddy love each other very much.
I'm pregnant with God's child.
What? It's the son of Satan. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Bible. I'm Joseph.
Oh.
With God's child.
Oh yeah, Mary.
We're gonna have a child.
Pregnant with Jesus.
I'm pregnant with Jesus. Except it's like the opposite because I'm pregnant with Satan's son.
Oh God. Yeah.
Never question anything.
Funny thing is, I'm Jewish.
It's okay. I'm not. I only read it for the stories. I'm atheist.
Yeah.
Cough. Anyway.
So yeah. Well. I mean, I think the whole thing with how Rin and Yukio were born, to be more exact.
Well, with a mommy and a daddy.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about the birds.
Very much.
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees.
When a mommy and daddy love each other very much, they go into
when a mommy and daddy love each other very much, you get possessed by Satan. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's something we'll find out, like, probably next chapter or the chapter after that.
Something like that, probably. Yeah. The arc could be long. I think it's going to be long enough to fill a volume.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long Kato will draw this out, but I assume it's gonna be at least 5 chapters, probably.
This is gonna be
And then
very
after
interesting.
that, Shiami arc.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I would talk more about like the Shiami thing, but like I don't think it's relevant to what's happening right now. I mean, it might be.
Why...
Okay, it might be. There might be. Actually, we haven't actually talked about that. We haven't yet. We have yet to see like if Shiami's, I guess, whatever is going
She's
on
an
with her ties
angel.
into this at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think most we'll get is like with Shiami is possibly seeing kids that look similar to her in Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh my God.
I bet you her family's connected to that too.
Yeah, it's definitely like I think around the time that we were first learning about like Section 13 is when like we found out that she was quitting cram school. So
yeah, but her mom said something really weird in the same chapter. They were bringing up the clones and stuff, I believe.
Oh, really? What did she say? What did she say?
It was just like it was switching perspectives back and forth between two different things. And then it was like, to deal with the stuff with Section 13. Oh, here's Shiami and her mom.
Because I can't remember what she said.
Her mom? Basically, the volume on hand.
When in
Give me a
doubt.
second.
When in doubt.
When in doubt, Grace always has manga next to her.
Yep.
Let's see. Is this the right volume? Yeah, this is the right volume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, she's like, well, I have something to tell you too. It's like, I think you can handle it now. Hear me out. Then if you still want to take the exam, I won't stop you. And then it switches perspective back to Bon and Lightning, and then you have yep, I was right. This is the chapter. Okay, they find Noihat, whatever his name is, and then the chapter after that starts showing the clones.
Mm-hmm.
Which is suspicious timing.
That is pretty suspicious. And then what chapter does she quit cram school?
The chapter she quits cram school officially?
Yeah, it was like something.
88, I think.
88. Oh, okay.
No, 88, 87.
87. Oh, okay. Yes.
That's gonna kind of make me sad because I feel like this is the whole opposite thing. If Yuri's human and Shiro is a clone, does this go for the fact that Shami could be a clone?
Maybe it depends on the timing. That's the problem that all goes on to this. I'm not against the clone theory, but it'd have to take place after Section 13 is the problem with it. Like projects off the side that
also,
had nothing to do with
why would the Grigori be interested in her in particular? Out of all, like, if there's also like all these other clones. And also, like, Section 13 was shut down before Rin and Yukio were born, and they're older than Shiami is. So...
Yeah, Shiami is born in March. I do have my big, huge, fat theory on freaking Tumblr, but...
yeah.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Well, there's also the fact that, I've read the series or whatever. Hold on, let me think of that series really quickly. And then, no, Maggie. Okay. So I was thinking of Maggie. Or Maggie.
Maggie.
You remember the fact, Maggie? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean.
Yes.
So I was reading the series way back when, before it ended, and I kind of just dropped it. But it kind of reminded me of the fact with Alibaba's mom, where she was pregnant for centuries until she finally gave birth to Alibaba. But Alibaba was not even a baby, full-grown baby. He was still technically very tiny. When it just gives me that kind of theory of the fact that it can also work towards a those who are cloned or whatever. So it could be the fact that Shiami could be a lot older than she is, but she was told otherwise.
Anyways, that one chapter, 87, is actually called Embryo.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Shiami's hair is like in all those plants and everything. And
that makes more sense now than it did when the chapter came out. Okay, I think that is foreshadowing something.
Oh, you want to know something else?
Sure.
1 second.
Ooh,
I'm going to go back to the beginning of the chapter. Yep, I'm right. It's also the chapter that Shemi Haza is mentioned in.
Holy crap. Wow.
So,
see, I don't know. I haven't gone back and reread some of the chapters. Oh god.
I have a big, huge friggin' theory that I did on Tumblr that I stayed up all night writing.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Take everything with a grain of salt. I just tried to make it sound.
It's interesting because like a few chapters before that, she declared that she was still gonna be an exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Amaimon came back. And,
yep.
Yeah, that was like the chapters that Rin asked her out, and she was like trying to figure out. She was trying to learn about love, and then she rejected him, and then Amaimon showed up.
And you have a current thing of being like, it's too late.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because like then she realized, oh wait a minute, I actually do like Rin romantically, but now it's too late, and now all these people are gonna take me away.
See, at that point, she was looking forward to her future, planning on becoming an exorcist and stuff, and she was planning to learn about love, so eventually
she
see
could...
where everything could go with her and Rin.
Mm-hmm.
Then all this stuff happened. She quit becoming an exorcist, and then now she's realized she's in love with Rin, and she's like, "Oh crap, it's too late."
Yeah, and then the Grigori comes in, just like is like, "Hey, guess what? You're coming with us." Yeah. So, I mean, there has to be a reason why. Like, she has memories that she has like lost memories that she has yet to regain. There has to be a reason why. I mean, I'm assuming they were wiped from her mind, so there has to be a reason why, and there has to be a reason why this one guy remembers her, and she can't remember him.
Probably saw something she shouldn't have, or her powers awakened sooner than they should have.
Yeah.
Tons of different stuff. It could have been protect her from herself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few different options that could go into what happened with her memories.
I mean, there have been signs literally throughout the span the manga's been out that Shiami is like super powerful.
She's not normal.
Yeah.
It's been implied pretty early on. She's not normal.
Yep. Also, like the whole thing with, her mom sheltering her for so long. Like, I don't know. There has to be a reason. There has to be a reason why. I mean, obviously, that doesn't seem like the most realistic thing to do, and I don't think she has any. She obviously has no recollection of it. So.
Yeah. All she remembers is being really sick when she was a kid. And then I think back to the fact, Lucifer, he's really sickly and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
I don't think Shiami's related to Lucifer, but I think powers can.
God, imagine.
Her powers,
No.
I think powers can.
A big kick in the gut with that be.
Yeah.
I think it's been proven that how powerful you are does affect your body.
I mean, there's
and
also
I think when she was little, she probably couldn't handle it properly the way she is now.
Yeah, I mean, okay. There's also the fact that Lucifer, going back on that, I think he's like, they haven't found a perfect host body for him because he can't he can't possess a body for that long because I think it gets too overwhelming for the body to handle, and then they It's like to the point where they could probably the body would die, which
Uh-huh.
is like how like what was going on with Satan possessing Shiro at the beginning of the manga. So I feel like that's like the same thing with Lucifer.
Yeah.
I think he just hasn't found like a vessel that could, I guess, withstand his power yet. So
I have scary thoughts when it comes to that. I'm not gonna
yeah,
draw.
and it's just like I think Lucifer is just as powerful as Satan, if not more, maybe a bit more powerful than him, which is interesting to think about because it's weird because Satan is considered like the king of all demons and the most powerful of them. But
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
talking on the chart from that Mephisto made in Volume 19, he has it where Satan's at the top, then the Emperors, and then Lucifer. I think they're supposed to be all like at the same rank.
Okay.
The Emperors of Creation, with not Emperors of Creation. Well, Stubby House is the Emperor of Creation, and the other one's Emperor of Emptiness.
Yeah, the three emperors and then Lucifer.
Well, 2 Emperors, then Satan's at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that might be wrong. That Lucifer could be more powerful than the emperors and more powerful than Satan.
Maybe. It might be also the fact that his power, it's like light.
Yeah.
If
I'm fine.
Okay. Are you okay?
That was my brother.
Oh, sorry.
That's what it was.
Okay. Anyway. What were you saying before?
I was just saying, it might have to do with what his power is specifically, though. Because it has to do with...
Yeah.
I'm not sure what light specifically, why it specifically would affect his body the way it does.
Yeah. Ugh, God. I mean, I do think it's probably like a lot more powerful than Satan's powers. And I think like that whole thing might be wrong. I guess that's what my theory on it, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, what does everyone else think about that?
I mean, I just assume that I just go off of what the chart actually says, so that's just what.
I mean, the chart
typically
could be wrong, you know.
Well,
Could be.
with the chart could be wrong. I feel like the fact that Lucifer could be the strongest demon, and Satan was just there as what you call it, a substitute, a distraction.
Yeah.
I mean, let me see, where is it? Satan's like, oh, not Satan. Mephisto's like, you could think of Satan as strength, not just the. I can't. So it's like soul and Baal or whatever. I can't pronounce the stupid names. But many demons are personalities born of Satan. Kings who are further down have more types of kin, servant demons that are greater in number. So that's what it kind of.
Oh, okay.
Is.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And Mephisto basically put it as the other demon kings are like other personalities of Satan. Essentially, like I put it a few times, kind of like it's like I'm gonna put it in easiest way to understand it for me is put it like Greek gods and stuff like that. Basically, he is what's the word I'm looking for? Embodiment of Gehenna.
Right.
So technically, even it's like I don't think they're actually like it's like all demons are related to Satan, but that doesn't make if someone's related to that demon, necessarily they're siblings with the other people because they're related to a different demon king.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure it works like that.
Right, that's true.
Because if that worked that way, that means anything to do with demons is incest.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Like I
When
don't
it comes down to it.
like I don't think that every one of the demon kings or the emperors is blood related to Satan. He probably just like adopted them.
Yeah, it's like
You
he
know
just
what I mean?
decided I'm father.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and I think it's just more so he's the embodiment of, like I said, the embodiment of Gehenna.
I
So
think it was actually confirmed that they're not related, but I might be wrong.
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. I believe Mephisto's wording said something like, "You could think of me like a brother."
Oh yeah. Or
Maimon, not
or
Mephisto.
Maimon
Maimon.
saying, yeah, Maimon when he like introduces himself to Rin, he's like, you can think of me as a big brother of yours.
Yeah, it's like I don't think it's basically it's basically implied that the reason it feels like it's implied that the reason the demon kings call each other siblings is because they're higher up.
Right.
So it's kind of how they differentiate themselves from the rest of the demons.
Mm-hmm.
By rank.
Yeah. I mean, there's also like
Satan's the.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, there's also the fact that like Shammy does share a connection with Maimon.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that is kind of related to what she is. Because he knew what she is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they obviously didn't name drop it, but like, it's obvious he knows.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not name drop, but it's definitely got it with the connections with that chapter focusing on introducing Shemi Haza and Emperor of.
But I mean, you gotta build up that suspense, you know.
Yeah. It kind of puts it at. It's like it's pretty much. She's got to have a connection with Shemi Haza.
Oh,
how that connection plays in there, we don't know.
Oh, actually, going back to Yuri for a minute.
Yep.
So I remember someone pointed this out, and I think it was on Tumblr, and I don't know, maybe it was on Tumblr, maybe it was on Twitter. I cannot remember for the life of me right now. But someone pointed out that Yuri's pupils are lighter, like Rin's and Yukio's, and I guess that's like, and Izumo's. So it's like someone with demon blood has those traits. So Yuri could have some demon.
Yeah, looking at it, it is.
Wait, what? Which? Let me see.
Yuri.
I was kind of wondering that the dad's not shown.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of like talk about it, and then the mom being like, "I'm too sick," and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that Yuri was a baby when she died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that kind of puts that like,
Yeah. So like Rin, Yukio, Izumo, like all those, you know, they're not fully demon, but they have like demon blood in them. So I think Yuri is related to some sort of demon.
Oh yeah, I see her eyes. Yep.
So
wait, where are you seeing this?
The chapter.
Well, I'm looking. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay.
Like any panel with like a good picture of her eyes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her eyes. So
the middle of it would be kind of lighter than. It won't be fully black all the way through.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Rin and Yukio have the little little red dot in their eye.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah, it's her pupils.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy.
That could be just a style. That could just be a stylistic thing that Kato has going there, but I mean, I don't trust coincidences.
whoever pointed this out, I really cannot remember for the life of me, so I'm sorry. But whoever pointed this out mentioned Izumo as well. So it's not just Rin and Yukio that have that trait. It's Izumo.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew that Izumo had demon blood in her.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've known that for 50 or so chapters now. I don't know. Anyway, or even more than that, honestly. Probably since the beginning of the manga, we knew that. So
I'm like looking into this now.
but it's like, so Yuri could be related to like maybe a demon king or the emperors or something.
Oh, good point.
Very good point.
So yeah, I mean,
Yuri's father.
maybe.
Izumo does have it in her eye, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Huh. I never noticed it.
I didn't notice it either until you guys mentioned it. Now I'm like looking up panels.
I would go to chapter 99.5 and look at her eyes.
Now I'm like looking up panels with Yukio and Rin just to compare.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious that's like a demon. That's like a trait for like humans with like.
Yeah, it
demon
really
blood.
is. It's always something like it's one of my
I think
favorite
it's a
things
way
about
to
it.
distinguish that they're not like completely human. So
Yeah.
So I don't know if Shiemi has that in her eyes. I think it's just.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. At least not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Her powers got awakened first, because I'm pretty sure Rin's eyes didn't do anything weird until after they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yuri could already see demons and stuff. Rin didn't see demons.
Yuri.
Yeah, but like I think she has the temptate or whatever it's called.
Yeah, temptate.
Rin didn't have any of
Hold on one second.
in the beginning.
They mentioned that it was like they take in orphans that have demon blood or have a temptate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they mentioned in the
No,
Yeah. So that could apply to Yuri. She could have the temptate, or which she does, or
she can have both.
Yeah, basically.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it was
I'm staring at these eyes now.
Mm-hmm.
I think just like, okay, this is part where Mephisto is like, no one leaves here alive.
Yeah, the whoever's taken from the groups and is trained to be an exorcist,
he's just
few barely make it out alive, is what he said.
Yeah, no, it's like also. I'm reading right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And former test subjects never leave the organization alive. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think that just applies that. It means like obviously the clones and everything in general.
Mm-hmm.
The clones, I mean, specifically.
Right.
So Shiro pretty much is put in a situation of your options are die or at least have some freedom.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally it.
Also, there is that little foreshadowing there where Shiro's like, I'm not going out of some demonic sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, so... Yes, hey, so about that, you know...
Yeah, that was pretty bad wording, Shiro.
Yeah.
If only you knew your future, and the fact you don't regret a single thing about it.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's like.
I wonder if the orphans make it out of there alive. They're orphans, and I think that's a big part of why they're bringing in orphans.
Well, yeah, because these are orphans that they took in Yuri because she could see demons. I'm pretty sure if she couldn't see demons, they would do something else to her.
Oh.
That wouldn't be very pleasant.
I don't think it's very pleasant for them either, any more than the actual clones themselves. A lot more of them probably make it out alive.
Because like in the last chapter, they didn't even think about taking her in until like they realized that she could see demons.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
So
it's
these are all children that have like temptations.
Sit there and think about those kids she's sitting there hanging out with in a room, and the one that's actually being nice to her and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably dead.
Oh God, yeah.
If you think about it, they're probably dead.
I mean, it's kind of sad, but kind of true.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, they show that Yuri does go through a lot of tragedy in her life, and I guess misfortune just kind of follows her along until she, I guess, eventually dies. So
I hate to bring Pigface up in this.
Oh God.
But he was doing tests on half demons and stuff like that for the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
The Illuminati's research started from Section 13.
Yep.
Which their front was the asylum.
Yes.
Which means those kids are probably essentially the equivalent of what, probably a little bit, probably not quite as bad as what Pigface was doing, but in that category.
With the zombies?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just experiments in general. It's like they seem like they're training some of them to become exorcists, but at the same time, I don't trust that.
But I feel like, what they do with what Pigface was doing was like, I guess, experimenting on people.
I mean, that part could be a legit orphanage part. I don't know. I highly doubt it.
Well, I mean, they did actually, they did, take Izumo and her sister to the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like I'm just curious about that specifically because Mephisto, I don't think he's evil, but he doesn't seem above doing what he finds necessary to protect for what he considers the greater good.
Yes, exactly.
And realizes there's a gray area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like doing stuff like that.
Yes.
In his eyes is better than something worse happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is what the whole morally gray part of the manga is like a big theme of the manga, so
I'll be sad. I was getting attached to that one kid that was actually being nice to her. If something happens.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
I like this character. Oh, he's dead.
He's probably dead.
He's probably dead.
Well, you know what happened to that woman that helped Izumo out? She died.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. Wonder if Yuri tries to escape or they kill people.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
I'm doubtful of that. She becomes an exorcist, but still.
I mean, yeah, because they did mention, like, that she did at least make it to, what was it? Junior first class? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was, junior first class. That was it. So, she didn't rank up very far. I think, not as far as Shiro did, because he became the paladin, so.
He succeeded in his dream. Yeah. Almost.
And
he didn't get to kill Mephisto.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yukio tried to complete his dream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, the fact that he mentions, like, killing Mephisto. It's just like... I'm just like, bitch, that's not gonna do a damn thing. You could just get a different host body.
You know what? I'm just thinking about it. Shiro, having read the phone and all that stuff at the beginning of the manga. Here, the only number in here is for a friend.
Yeah.
Your friend? You mean the guy you would have literally?
The guy that you threatened to kill when
In a
you
very
were when you were
specific
like
manner.
when you were like 12 years old.
In a very specific.
Oh, also,
Very specific about how he wants to kill him.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. Oh, yeah. Also, funny thing that actually Seuss brought up on Twitter, that Rin forgot that he has a hood, so he doesn't actually hide in plain sight. He basically just hides in a corner all the time instead of actually just putting up his hood, and no one would see him.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna try and be. I'm trying to be sneaky. Oh,
I think he wants to act like he's like a spy or something. I would think they'll act like Shima.
He's a bad spy. And a dork.
Shima's a pretty bad spy. Let's be real.
Sometimes he's good, actually.
Yeah, that's true. But
I've seen it when he's actually trying. No one catches him.
I mean, Spy Game. If Spy Game is any indication.
I haven't actually watched it with subs yet.
I watched it with subs. It was pretty funny.
I watched it in subs.
Yeah.
I own the OVA, so I just watched it.
No, it was yeah, I mean, knowing what they're saying now, it's much more funny.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else that we wanted to talk about?
I'll be rolling in status, money, honors, and women.
That too. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to mention or anything?
That Yuri doesn't have big boobs.
I don't think so. I mean, oh yeah, because Shiro says he's right. I'm just I know. I was just like, I know Shiro becomes a priest at one point. It's just like, wow.
He really does dirty for priests.
He's not a traditional priest. I mean, I'll say
I mean, Rid put it best himself.
Yeah.
What was it? You're something holy man. Can't remember what it was.
He's supposed to be a holy man. I mean, I think at that point he didn't know he was going to be a priest, because I wonder what prompted him to become a priest. Because he could have just been an exorcist.
Might have been a requirement.
I don't know, because a lot of exorcists are probably not, religious figures in the church.
Ah, there it is. In the manga, Rin said, "You're a worldly holy man."
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like that he might have been ordered to become something that he wasn't. More or less, it was in the whole in hiding, because he raised the boys in secret. So he was in hiding.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
yeah.
I don't think they would just look for him if he was a priest, especially on how he acts and how he was and how free he felt, all that fun stuff.
I'm just wondering why he took the position as a priest, and he was a priest of a monastery.
Maybe some type of requirement. I have a feeling.
I don't know.
I highly doubt that was his decision to be.
You mean a requirement for him being paladin, right?
Yeah. Specifically because he's a clone and stuff like that.
But I think he was a priest before he became a paladin.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because
then we have the old guy that had information. We know he knew stuff about Section 13.
That too.
It might have been. It was probably.
Also because they mentioned that he has to have a Morinav contract.
Uh-huh.
He has to sign a Morinav contract.
I'm just gonna put my bet as this. He's probably a priest, literally as a front for taking care of Ren and Yukio. And he had all those people there that were exorcists to keep an eye on.
Yeah, because all the other monks that were in the monastery, you know, also probably were a part of Section 13 because, you know, that one priest did die from breaking his contract. So
yeah, I'm assuming what it was actually is so he had an excuse to have so many exorcists in one place. Like a legit excuse, and I think that's probably what it is.
Exactly.
I still have something that nudges against my head, my brain. I don't feel like Yuri is actually dead though.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this like lots of times on the podcast. I have a theory that she is still probably alive. I highly doubt that, but you know, knowing Kato, she might surprise us. So,
if Yuri is actually alive, I can imagine Rin's face and Yukio's face. But, oh god.
Oh, but like, what if Yuri? Okay, what if they actually wipe her memories so Yuri doesn't know who Rin and Yukio are?
Oh, that is devastating. Why are you doing this to me?
I mean, that could have happened.
I mean, it could have, to the point where they relocated her too.
That's what I'm thinking. Like they probably were like, okay, so we're gonna kill the spawns of Satan and then wipe your memory and then move you to another place. So yeah, you'll have no recollection of what happened.
But I also feel like that she's gonna end up remembering at one point. Because of the...
Yeah, because I think it's also because she was involved with Section 13 too. So she probably also had to have signed a contract as well. So,
yeah.
If, like, they erased her memories, then she has no memory of Section 13, so she can't break her contract.
I feel like, though, since the boys, it is Yuri and Shiro that, and are, like, Shiro is the biological father, I feel like the fact that it's gonna nudge at her because the boys do look like a lot like Shiro.
But what if she doesn't remember Shiro?
That would make me sad.
Like, I'm thinking, like, if she was alive, they probably would, like, again, wipe her memories and then put in, like, fake memories.
Well, what if it's not, if Kata doesn't go that direction, what if she's more of like she's on the run?
Maybe, like a fugitive, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That too.
So,
like, oh,
I can imagine that Rin is in like some kind of pinch, and then Yuri all of a sudden just comes out in some hooded figure, and it freaks Rin out.
I have so many theories as to if Yuri is alive, what is going on with her? Like, she probably, like, what if she, like, again, like, she's a fugitive, and then she forms, like, this faction against, like, the Order. So...
True. Like, I can totally imagine the idea of all of a sudden she's this hooded figure. She comes in front or whatever. I feel like more or less she's gonna be introduced more with everybody else before Rin gets
there has to be some interaction with her and Rin. Like, I don't know. Like, how can there not be?
What? Yeah. So it's like the whole what if moment. What if Bon is the first one to actually get to see Yuri in a way, if she is alive by any chance?
Bon or Rin?
Bon.
Oh.
Because Bon would look at her, question her because she looks so close to the twins, and then she's gonna just spit her name out, and he's gonna be like, "Oh shit."
Oh god. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It would make the story a lot more interesting, I would say that much.
I mean, like, I would imagine to the fact that she would die in the end, but there's that whole concept that she is still technically introduced at a later time in preventing the whole thing with Shiami.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there's a good chance that she will be most likely introduced, maybe in the Shiemi arc, if she is alive.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see how this arc plays out.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's
We'll
good.
see if she's alive or not.
It's fun to come up with these kinds of theories, though. I would say, it's just. I mean, it lets. I think we all have very wild imaginations about where this could go. So.
I just keep imagining it.
No, that's not a bad thing. I don't think, anyway.
Scare the crap out of Bond.
No.
I can imagine Bond's reaction when he sees Yuri.
It's just like, wait a minute, you look like Rin and Yukio. Oh, are you there, Mom?
I don't think he would really go to that concept. He just feels like he would feel like the presence of somebody that he recognizes.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
doesn't
Like
recognize.
you look very familiar, but I don't know who you are.
And then she might become some sort of badass character.
Yeah.
Well, she is technically already a badass character because she has such a carefree mind.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're making her out to be like this dim-witted person like that other thing that must not be named. Yeah, anyway. So, I mean...
She's chill about demons in a very similar way that Shiemi's able to just accept things as they are.
Exactly. Like, it's not seen as her, like... seeing as she could love a demon romantically. It's more of like...
She doesn't judge.
Yeah. I mean...
It's just that good chance where she is that type of badass character. But she just doesn't choose to be violent.
Mm-hmm.
And she's most likely a very, very brilliant character as well. She just doesn't know it.
Yeah, I think she is definitely a smart person. So
it's just that ideal.
She probably will, like, excel well in her classes and, like, probably be the top student in her class. So that's probably where Yukio got his intelligence from. Because I could see Shiro not doing as well. Like, how Rin first started when he went to cram school. And then, like...
Yeah.
I mean, he got to be paladin at one point in his life. So I think he eventually became more inept at exorcism. So... Obviously.
That's true. But... Man... Kato, I hope she does play the surprise attack on the whole fact that Yuri is alive.
Oh my god, I hope so too. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Yuri possibly being alive?
I don't know. I'm doubtful, but
Okay.
That's just...
Yeah, I don't know if she would be either. I don't really have like I feel like she's not.
Yeah, I mean,
I like her, and I'd love for her to be alive.
I mean,
but...
I could see both sides of, like, there could be a possibility of that happening, and then that's like too. It just seems like too impossible. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, like. We still have, like, a few more, I guess, chapters to go of this arc, so we'll
exactly.
Obviously we're gonna find out her fate.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
I just hope that Kato does pull the fact that
that
she may be alive. I just want hope, okay?
I understand. Don't we all? I mean,
it's really hard.
Hope.
I mean, Mephisto does say that it does end in tragedy, so I would say I'm more doubtful than hopeful about her being alive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it can go in both ways on tragedy because tragedy has several meanings, and so
That's true.
True.
so it doesn't exactly mean the fact that she could have died or she would have died. It's just more or less that there's tragedy behind the asylum and all that kind of fun stuff.
Exactly.
So, in a way, it still goes into the whole tragedy part
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff, but it's
Uh-huh.
not saying exactly that she actually dies or what not.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't. I think the only implication we have of her, like, being dead is what Satan says in chapter 1, that he's gonna burn everything to ash, just like Rin's mother. So
Yeah, he said something along the lines of
yeah, he's gonna burn everything. That...
everything he. It's more of a everything he touches turns to ash.
Oh yeah.
Like this body and your mother.
Yeah, basically that. Oh yeah. That's what.
Is something along those lines. But
yeah. That's pretty much what he said.
So
But
that's why it's hard for me to even think that she's alive. It's like the problem is it gets harder and harder because I'm getting more and more attached to her character.
I don't know. I'm thinking. So I've been rewatching like the whole Bleach and Naruto and all that kind of fun stuff. You know how the fact that there was the character that seemed like he was evil, until the very end, where you learned the true meaning behind that character and their true intentions and how they were protecting, kind of thing. I mean, like, it was like towards with the whole Itachi moment where he wasn't actually the true villain, and then in Bleach we have Gin, who wasn't actually the true villain.
Sorry to interrupt for a minute. Who here has actually read Naruto or Bleach besides Serena? Because I have not.
I know enough about it.
I haven't.
So I know about.
So I'm sorry. I can't. About. I don't really. I mean, I wish I haven't read like Naruto or Bleach, so I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to, but continue.
Well, no, how I'm referring to it is that with the whole spoilers to whoever not read Naruto or Bleach or whatever, in Naruto, Itachi killed his whole entire clan, but he could not kill his only brother. And the fact is that he was ordered to kill his family and clan in order to protect his brother from Danzo or whatever his name is, and he went rogue on purpose to protect his brother and to figure out the whole situation. And then with Gin on Bleach, the only reason why he went towards with Aizen at the beginning is because he wanted to protect and get something back from that was originally Rengiku's, which she was which was stolen from her when she was a child, and Gin just happened to come across it, and so Gin originally was wanting to kill Aizen in order to get that back to Renkiku because he was in love with Renkiku. So it befalls on the whole fact that both those characters do die in the end, meaning the fact that they were just playing the villain, but they were never the villain.
Yeah,
I see.
So I feel like that's gonna also be played out in the whole series because it does technically sort of happen in a lot of stories. Just depending on what type of stories you read. And since this is Shonen Jump and it's action and supernatural and all that kind of fun stuff, it's most likely gonna happen.
Yeah.
I wonder who will be our character that does that. I've had a feeling about Yukio for a while.
I mean, knowing you, I feel less like Yukio's gonna die lately than I have in a long time, which is weird. I mean,
wait, never mind. There's Shima.
Oh yeah, Shima. Yeah, I feel like more than likely Shima will die. Yukio, I'm a little, I guess, leaning towards. At this moment, I don't think he's gonna die, but I could be wrong.
I just think it majorly injured.
I could be wrong. I mean,
I
feel like
I don't want Shima to die.
I feel like whoever aligns with the Illuminati will ultimately, like, die at some
Gets
point.
killed?
Like, just like Pigface.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Shima will do some sort of, like, sacrifice for, the X-Wires and stuff.
Yeah.
Yukio, I have no idea, like, if he ends up dying, how that would play out, so.
It'd be for Red, whatever it is.
Yeah, it would obviously be to protect Rin, but, I'm just not sure, like, how it would happen.
I don't know
some
either.
odd reason, for some very odd reason, I don't want to hate Satan or anything. I feel like he purposely plays his role well. Like, I feel like Satan isn't actually the final villain in this whole series.
Maybe.
And so I feel like Satan plays his role like this,
Mm-hmm.
and on purpose, because I don't think he was intentionally.
I think it could very well be Lucifer.
Because the ideal fact is that he just gives me that kind of vibe where he purposely plays this role just so he can reach that goal.
Yeah. I think it could very well be Lucifer who turns out to be, like, the final villain.
Yeah.
It might be. I don't know. I really don't think Kato would, like, if it's not Satan who's, like, the final boss. I hope she doesn't, like, pull out a villain from nowhere towards the end of the series.
Alright. This is kind of actually something me and my friend Alicia discussed before.
Oh, really?
Talking about Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, it feels like a lot of the strings that Mephisto's pulling is just so Rin can knock Satan off the throne so he can take over.
Right. Yeah. I think. Well, first of all, his intentions for Rin were. Well, he's made this clear on multiple occasions that his intentions for Rin were to make him a weapon for the Order against Gehenna. But he could just be lying out of his ass. He could. He'd be like he'd be the one to dethrone Satan. Is his true intention?
It's like, now when it comes to it, this doesn't necessarily have to do with the true villain. When I'm saying this about him, but it does have ultimately to do with him trying to take power.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's not Lucifer that's the main villain, I feel like it could be Mephisto.
He could be.
Yeah.
I think it's ultimately going to play out like it's literally a gray area, even when it comes to the villains.
I'd rather not be Mephisto, to be honest.
So it's like that's the problem with the way there's no problem with the way she does it. It's really good, but that's the problem because it's like even at the end, you're kind of like the good guys aren't right and the bad guys aren't right. No one's right.
Yeah, exactly.
How can you have an ultimate villain when they're all kind of everything connects? It's like it's all a lot of it.
Just because Mephisto's name is a play on words for the Mephistopheles, who is the devil, I don't think that means he's going to be the final villain. So
yeah, I don't think he is. I also don't think she's gonna randomly pull someone out of nowhere either. So your top three would be Mephisto. It's like would be Satan, Lucifer, and Mephisto. I think ultimately it's those three fighting to be in charge.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But I feel
Lucifer's ploy is to play nice and act like he's helping Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And Mephisto's is just to go full on wine baby and be like, I hate you.
Mm-hmm. Ugh.
I just feel like Satan's intentions are a separate matter compared to the other two. So,
I
Yeah.
think I think
he's the
Satan
lone.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Go ahead.
Satan's is just he does what he wants. He's not personally trying to affect people.
Yeah.
He just wants to have fun and do whatever the heck he wants.
There is that
Yeah,
good
and
chance
Mephisto basically just sees everyone as his toys in a giant play box.
Ultimately,
Well-
Satan was only created. It's like technically came. It's like excuse me. Back when Yuri was a little kid, you have all that stuff with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's only had a full consciousness for so many years versus the others. So in a way, similar to
He's
Rin
the
when
baby
his
brother.
similar to when Rin's powers woken, it's like I want to burn everything. I want to burn everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar manner to that. It's more of a I'm a being. I can do what I want.
I mean, that
I don't
kind
think it's an ultimate. He does it all specific. Oh, I'm gonna kill everybody
yeah. Mm-hmm.
because the big plan for it.
You cut off that last part. Can you repeat that?
I don't. It's more of a. I don't give a shiz. I'm just gonna do what I want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, now that I think about it, I wonder if they'll ever go into how Satan became so powerful, like his backstory in the manga, because I don't think they've actually covered that. Well, Kato hasn't actually covered that yet, to be specific. I don't know if, like, at some point, because no one really knows how long the manga will go on for. So, I mean, it's obviously, I feel like it's about at the halfway point, so.
She's confirmed it was at the halfway point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She said, I think she maybe said it's all hitting that.
Yeah.
So it was like close to it. So by now,
I
we'll
think,
look for.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be. I don't know. Anyway. So.
We got this arc, Shami's arc.
Yeah.
Whatever she does after that.
Yeah. So yeah. Does anyone else have any comments or theories or stuff they want to share before we go off?
My brain is kind of dead now.
I think we're all theoried out at this point.
I just want to believe Yuri's alive.
I think everyone's good. All right.
If I am correct, then it's gonna just throw everybody off. Be like, "Ha, suckers."
Be like, you all didn't believe me, but I was right.
Believe me.
Okay. So I think if that's the case, I think we're all good. And yeah. So I guess that's it. So yeah, that's the chapter 101 discussion. So we're gonna I don't know. Fuck. We're gonna well, we'll look forward to chapter 102, which comes out in August. I'm not sure if we're gonna be updating the podcast in between then. I was planning to get a bonus episode up of doing a review of the stage play, the Illuminati one. I haven't actually finished watching it, but once I do, and once a few other people do, I'm pretty sure we will get around to recording that and uploading that, and that will be a separate podcast from the discussion ones. And live streams, I don't know if they're coming back, because everyone's schedules are like crazy. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. I think it'll just be like an every once in a while thing at this point. So yeah. So thanks guys. Thank you so much for watching. And make sure to leave a comment letting us know what you thought of the chapter. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't to the YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter and Tumblr and all that jazz. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and we will see you next time for the chapter 102 discussion. If there's any podcast upload in between that, we will update you guys on the social medias. So yeah, we'll see you guys in August. Bye.
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 Bye bye.